Hey everyone, it's Libby from maighstirtarot. I'd like to acknowledge the Worimi First Nations people. It's W-O-R-I-M-I, and welcome to you, your guides, my guides and the universal energies. Yes, I got a couple of adorable fur babies in the background there. So thank you for joining me. Yesterday I had on my tiger skin. Today I've got on the leopard skin, so the prince. First of all, I just really like to put out my absolute heartfelt anguish and love for the families of the two police officers that were killed in Victoria yesterday, and the police officer that was killed. It's just something that doesn't happen in Australia, or happens so extremely rarely, that when it does occur, the whole country is just absolutely in shock about it. Apparently they were trying to deliver a notice to a far-right conspiracy theory nutbag, off-grid, one of those sorts of people. So, oh goodness me, just absolute heartfelt to the families and the police family that throughout Australia will be absolutely feeling this. Okay, what I want to have a look at in this particular reading is I'm actually going entertainment only. And I want to actually have another look at SCrOTUS, or SCOTUS as it's officially known. What's happened overnight is that Judge Gorsuch, who was then backed by Judge Kavanaugh. So Gorsuch was a Trump, I think they were both Trump appointees during his first regime, along with Amy Coney Barrett, but this is Gorsuch and Kavanaugh, expressing their frustration at the lower courts for not heeding 245's whims and wishes, basically. They are the SCrOTUS is juggling an ever-increasing emergency caseload of legal cases that are being ruled on in the lower courts to block the orange twerp. The orange twerp doesn't like it, and bumping them straight up to SCOTUS. So the lower courts are pushing back against also SCrOTUS's flawed rulings. Now, don't mind my eyes, they are actually incredibly better today. They're just very red because the swelling's gone down. And I just want to put it, they did this before Spot was on medication, so it's nothing to do with Spot's medication. Sorry, a bit of a quokka moment. And we don't actually use the air conditioning in winter because we have in-slab heating in the floors. So they're healing. I think I actually found the secondary cause washing powder, and the cushion that I used to use to prop my tablet up on at night when I'm on the sofa, hearting all your fabulous comments. So thank you. I went to wash all the cushions off the sofa, went to pull the insides, the little thing inside that cushion, and it had just was mankily disintegrated, and I think when I pulled it out I went, oh my goodness. So that promptly went in the bin, and feeling a lot better. So back on topic. So basically the lower courts are pushing back against SCrOTUS's flawed rulings because what's happened is SCrOTUS, when they make rulings, don't give any or very little explanation of why they ruled in a certain way, which means that the lower courts don't understand why they ruled in a certain way, and they are illogical rulings, don't follow the Constitution, etc. Gorsuch is demanding questioning compliance to the Orange Twerp's wishes. However, Sotomayor has accused the Supreme Court of rewarding lawlessness by siding with the Orange Twerp. So I just want to have a look to see the future of the Supreme Court. Now, I have read in the past that when all this unravels. So what's happening is the fraying at the edges is absolutely underway. And what's happening is places like the Supreme Court, and we're talking about those conservative judges, mainly Gorsuch, Alito, Kavanaugh and Thomas. Roberts can flip-flop a bit. Strangely enough, Amy Coney Barrett seems to side. She's the dark horse. She's unpredictable. But I just want to have a look at SCrOTUS. So you've got the three Ketanji Brown Jackson. Is it Brown Jackson? Yes, Sotomayor, and I can't think of the third one off the top of my head, and I didn't write it. But the other progressive female that's on the courts there. Basically, they're outnumbered. What is it? 6-1 because of the GOP Congress blocking Biden's choices for the Supreme Court, and then basically allowing the orange twerp to put in whoever he wanted to unopposed. So I would just want to have a look at the future of the Supreme Court. I do get that finding themselves more and more isolated, and this is investigation. Can be introspection, but I don't think the conservative ones are really introspective, but it's really shining a light on those snakes in the path that are preventing true justice. Now, what legal rulings do is legal rulings are brought about because pretty much, I'm going to say, changes in expectations in society. I mean, once upon a time, you didn't wear a seatbelt in the car, and then the expectation was, well, seatbelts are here, they're readily available, and they save lives, so therefore it is legal that you should wear a seatbelt. So rulings, the law is a living, breathing document, as is the Constitution, and so they should be. But basically what's happening is that these conservative judges are throwing down, how do I put it? Yeah, well, they're just saying venomous obstacles in the path of the Supreme Court. We've got here the Ace of Swords, and we've got the Emperor, which is about taking control, but we also know who the Emperor is. So you've got this snake in the path, making these rulings, really powerful new rulings for the Emperor. But this is all part of the wake-up call that the world is going through at the moment. So as ghastly as it is, what is happening at the moment in the United States and around the world was unfortunately necessary to actually bring about change. And sadly, humans don't change for the better, and I'm going to say this will end up for the better, unless it's actually really painful for us to bring about that change. We're quite happy to sit in the status quo if it's comfortable for us. It's the old frog in the pot. If you start off with cold water and slowly heat it, the frogs will just sit there happily in their spa pool until they boil to death. If you throw a frog in a stinking hot pot, it will leap straight back out again. Okay, so let's have a look. The Supreme Court. What I keep getting is when all of this unravels, I keep getting that the whole Supreme Court is going to be removed, and it does mean the progressive judges as well are going to be removed and basically start again. Okay, let's have a look. What does the future hold? I do, however, feel, okay, show me. Will the Supreme Court rule, backtrack on their ruling that presidents are immune? Will the Supreme Court at any stage backtrack on their ruling? Because I think this is going to be like one of their last proclamations is what I'm getting. Okay, that's interesting. It's like hanging it up on the door as the door is shut. Will the Supreme Court remove presidential immunity again? Should never have gone on in the first place. Will the Supreme Court remove presidential immunity? Basically because it should never have gone on in the first place, because the president can claim anything that he did that was illegal is in his line of work, even if it's really obviously not. Okay, come on down, let's have a look. Because what's happening is the orange twerp is basically said it gives them immunity on everything. Will they? Okay, the Three of Cups, the circles of support, can be the celebration, but I think this is the three progressive judges. Sotomayor, Ketanji Brown Jackson, and kicked myself up the side of the head. I cannot remember the last one, but this is the three progressive judges here. This is the here and now. They are being legally restricted. I suspect they would love to release more information about how rulings were come about, especially if they don't agree with the rulings, but legally they can't for whatever reason. I suspect it probably has to be approved through Roberts or something. But yeah, they themselves are feeling impotent, restricted, unable to bring about the rule of law. Okay. The energy that they're stewing in at the moment, the Supreme Court, they're finding themselves ever increasingly trapped by the rulings that they are making. The wands here are rulings. They've made certain rulings and they're now finding that this is the Supreme Court in general. I'm not talking about the three, because the three are finding themselves trapped. This is the other, is it six? Are finding themselves ever increasingly trapped by the rulings that they have come up with. Okay, so my question was, are they going to remove the immunity? In the past, a rash declaration, a rash legal ruling is what I'm getting there, giving the all might and power to the President of the United States to basically crime his way through it. Yeah, so this is in the past. It can mean a harsh truth. I mean, we are seeing what that immunity can lead to, but it's a rash knight. He plows into battle really without thinking. Just about to go off the cliff here. Just about to go off the cliff with this declaration, with this ruling that they made that presidents are immune. This is in the past. Crowning this reading, the High Priestess, the hidden agenda that has been revealed, has been exposed, secrets that have been exposed or still to be exposed about who pays what. This is very much about, who paid for play in the Supreme Court. Oh, goodness me. But yeah, the secrets are all out there. We've seen it. We know what it is. In the immediate future, the betrayal, the loss, the disappointment, the heartbreak. Is this the felon going to turn on the Supreme Court? I mean, basically, they've pretty much done themselves out of a job if he is immune and nobody can take any legal action against him. The Three of Swords, betrayal. So that's the immediate future. Externally, the Magician. They have the power to write this. This is a card of manifestation. This is a card of creating something new, bringing forth something out of nothing. Can also mean manipulation. But externally, they have the power to overrule us, but will they? Internally, wanting to go back to a simpler time, wanting to... this can also be the naivety card, but I'm getting this, wanting to go back to how it was before presidents have the immunity. Because before they made this ruling, basically they were making judgments on the Constitution. Now they're finding themselves absolutely, as they said, juggling ever-increasing emergency cases brought forward by the orange twerp. Their cushy job with their long lunches has been undermined. The hopes and fears, secrets being revealed. This is a fear of those conservative judges. I suspect there's some blackmail material on them. But we've got here secrets being revealed that they're afraid of. I'm just going to say they're afraid of the outcome, death, ending, new beginning. Be careful what you wish for, because the rat will poop in your cup. If you're wondering at the rat pooping, have a look up in the rafters there. This is very much, it's the Nine of Cups. It can be the smug merchant, it can be, wish fulfillment and all the rest of it, but I always just read it as be careful what you wish for, because you might actually get it. Right, the plan that brought to fruition and the ship brought into harbour. So this was giving the immunity, but now they're having second thoughts with the Two of Wands. And here's the walking away, the Eight of Cups walking away. And then you've got the King of Cups, a mature leader, a mature decision maker. I wouldn't say Roberts, but it might be bought by Roberts, because here we've got the Steel with the Seven of Swords, the Steel, the betrayal, the deceit, and the Ten of Swords, bringing about a complete and utter downfall. I am wondering, looking on the bottom, we've got the Two of Cups, some sort of across the aisle agreement, the Strength, the Wheel of Fortune turning, and then the Chariot. Again, this military potentially coming in. Is the orange twerp going to betray the Supreme Court? Let's have a look. Is the orange twerp going to betray the Supreme Court? Kavanaugh's really worried because he shouldn't be on there. He's worried about this Epstein stuff because he knows that might be the secrets card. Wasn't it 4,000 reports to the FBI which were not investigated before Kavanaugh's, that the Orange Twerp ordered not to be investigated before Kavanaugh was appointed? He's really worried. Jamie, is the Orange Twerp going to betray the you want to stop there? The conservative judges. Oh, the Fool. That's a yes card. New journey. Stepping off the cliff. Foolishness. Challenged by the lovers, the unbalanced relationship in the face of this fading misogynistic patriarchal energy. And again, it's a yes card. I think he is. I think he's going to very possibly renege on some sort of agreement that he's made as he desperately tries to cling on to power. Forced to retreat. The Four of Swords. Is he going to betray them? It might be in his ill health. He does something. Let's see where this goes. Right. The Supreme Court themselves found themselves entrapped by their rulings. These two came up in the last reading. The magician, the manifestation, the manipulation, the look over here while this happens over. He's going to throw the Supreme Court. He's going to, in his desperation to divert attention, he's going to do something that wounds these conservative judges on the Supreme Court. Here's the mercenary, the Knight of Pentacles, the paid killer, basically. Entertainment only, allegedly. The immediate future, the mercenary. And then everything just becomes too difficult. I think he's going to lose his biscuit at the Supreme Court for not being able to simply do what he wants to do. These are all the emergency cases, and they're just getting overwhelming for even the Supreme Court to deal with. And there's the two tens externally and internally. 10 of Pentacles. So 2 endings. I'm just going to put those down and pop you up because I've got a little pop-up box on my screen that I'm just going to get rid of. There we go. Sorry about that. I don't know whether it was actually showing on the screen or not. I hate these pop-up boxes. So 2 tens externally, it's just going to be too much. It's too much. It's almost like he's going to not even go to the lower courts. He's just going to go to the Supreme Court and demand that they make rulings for him. But at 10 of Pentacles, again, it's an ending card. It's the end of the snouts being in the trough. Let's have a look. Is he going to betray them? 2 of Pentacles, trying to juggle on unstable ground, trying to bring the ship in. So the three of Wands had the ship coming in on relatively calm waters. This one's just a bit of a nightmare. So the hopes and fears is literally this nightmare situation where they're trying to juggle to do what he wants, but I think he's going to just go too far. You've got the Justice, you've got the dark money, and you've got the investigation, and you've got the ending. I think he's just going to put too many demands on them, is what I'm getting there. But the outcome, you've got the justices being investigated for dark money payments. That means the ending for them, and I do get that it is going to be the ending. I just get that that whoever, whatever form of governance, I'm not going to say government, I'm going to say governance that comes in next is going to dismiss the Supreme Court. Is that right? Show me. What is the future of the Supreme Court in its current format? What is the future of the Supreme Court in its current format? Well, you've got dark money, but money trails. So there's going to be investigation. It's again, follow the money, but what is the ending and moving on, but could also be ending a military. Ending. Goodness me, ending. Then there's the dark money, and then there's the Justice card, and then there's the everything changing. It's back a bit randomly. Let's have a look. What does the future hold for the Supreme Court? I just saw the Moon card, secrets coming out. What does the future hold for the Supreme Court in its current form? The current form of the Supreme Court. Forced to withdraw and retreat. Could just be 4 justices that are removed or 3 justices. Oh, maybe the Trump appointed. Sorry, did I let his name slip in my lippers? Entertainment only. Might be just the 3 felon appointed ones, orange twerp appointed ones that are forced to go. Let's have a look. Because if he's deemed an illegitimate president, which I have been saying for 18 months, 2 years now, that will occur to him, will it just be the 3 that he appointed, Kavanaugh, Gorsuch and Amy Coney Barrett? Let's keep going. So here's this King of Cups, this new authority figure, a mature, stable energy. The challenge is this new leader. Okay. Crowning the foundation, the energy they're stewing in is their inability to move because of these past rulings that they made in the past. So tell me about the current form. what is the future of the current form? We've got the Ace of Cups, a cleansing and a new beginning. So this is taking place in the future. So this is still in the future, even though it's in the past, of what will happen to the Supreme Court, if that makes sense. Think timelines. So this is the cleansing, the all-seeing eye and the cleansing in its current form. You've got the Three of Wands. Again, it's a hairy process getting the ship in, because if you have a look at the waves, but it is calmer than the Two of Pentacles. So this is something, action, planning, coming to fruition, new direction, bringing the ship in, crowning. This is what's crowning it. 3 gone, 3 new. Okay, I will correct myself and say I think the 3 that were appointed during the Orange Twerps terms will find themselves removed. It is the Two of Wands. So we've got the Three of Wands and then we've got the Two of Wands. The Two of Wands is about in the immediate future. There are some powerful decisions that need to be made that will reflect on what direction the Supreme Court takes. So it's still in the planning formation stage. Let's see where it goes. Externally, the Page of Pentacles, new opportunity being presented, new beginning, could be something to do with the votes. Internally, the alchemy, the detoxifying. So internally, the detoxifying. Hopes and fears. This was this rash appointment that took place. The outcome. Another Two of Swords. It's not in stone. It could still go either way, but it is very much about taking the blindfold off and deciding whether you want to go with the what is or the actual truth, the legalities of it. Two of Swords, Three of Swords, betrayal, and then there's some sort of an announcement, and then we have the Ace of Swords that changes everything with the World card. Changes everything. These agreements ending up in a Tower moment, and we've got the Emperor, we've got the those that feathered their nests, we've got the High Priestess, secrets being revealed about manipulation, judgment, the Chariot, partnerships, the false victory, the infighting and throwing under the bus, and secrets being revealed, and then this new legal leader. Those that the Emperor made agreements with are going to find themselves in this explosive situation where the lid blows off everything. Those that feathered their nests are going to be revealed, and their manipulation. You've got here Judgment, Chariot, the failing partnerships, the false victory, got the infighting, the secrets revealed, and then this new legal leader coming forward. So this King of Cups here is almost like an interim governmental leader. It was my Joe Biden card. I'm not saying it's Joe Biden, but it has that sort of energy. And then I'm going to say we have a new Chief Justice. Not necessarily male, just a new Chief Justice. Okay, so I am going to revise what I had last time, remembering that nothing is set in stone. There are so many directions this could take. I kept getting that there would be a new Supreme Court. I kept getting that there would be dismissals. The skin being that I am, thought it was the entire Supreme Court would go, because it wouldn't be fair to get rid of the conservative ones and leave the progressive ones, because that would be politically motivated as well. But according to those cards, it looks like those that were appointed during the Orange Twerp's tenures will be removed. I've always got that Roberts will resign and step down once it all starts to fall apart, so watch for that as well. And I suspect Thomas will also resign due to health reasons or something along those lines. Leaves the Leto, still got to get rid of a Leto somehow. But so I do, it is like, I see almost like the removal of the immunity is like a proclamation on the door as the last person turns the light out and shuts the door behind them. And then we have this reconfiguration of the Supreme Court. Okay, let's see how it plays. None of this was going to happen overnight. It's a progression thing. And it could be anything from next week to 6 months' time. Okay, love to you all. Take care. Bye-bye.